for the cause, for the Linux evolvement, for the Linux revolution. Hello there, all you amazing people out there. There's a reason for that picture over there. Bing, bing, bing. I've been using Linux on the desktop for over 25 years, give or take, maybe a year. But I rounded up to close to 25 years. I've been advocating for the Linux desktop, even though you may not know it, from my YouTube channel, but in private for as long. I have been talking to people, companies, or people in companies that in the IT departments and stuff like that to try and get them to use Linux. You know, I was... Look at it like this. Go watch a DistroTube video about open source. The way he talks on a video, that was me talking to an IT department, a rep salesman for IT stuff, a software vendor, a software representative, a software salesperson. That was me going into my local, we didn't have like Best Buy and stuff like that, but our local computer shops and talking to owners, salesperson and stuff like that. The way Dennis DistroTube was talking about Linux, that was how I talked to those people times 100. I wouldn't fucking let go. So I've done my bit for the cause, for the fucking Linux evolvement, for the Linux revolution. I've done my bit. And year after year after year after year after year, what I see is what we see over here. And it can be a little bit hard to see, but it's basically two ladders put together with bungee cord or cord with a guy drilling a hole in the ceiling. My experience, what I have seen going on for Linux on the Linux desktop, and why I'm giving up on the Linux desktop. I'm totally giving up on the Linux desktop, because what I have noticed and seen is that not only does the community shoot itself in the foot over and over and over again by being hostile, anti this, anti that, yelling and screaming at people for not doing exactly what they want, and so on and so on and so on. Imagine a Linux distribution a little bit like this guy standing with a drill in his hand on these ladders here. What 9 out of 10 Linux distributions are focusing on is making sure that this guy over here has the best fucking drill in the world. Your job is to drill holes in ceilings and have a good foundation to stand on, so you can drill an amazing hole. Linux distributions, 9 out of 10 of them, are focusing only on the drill. Everything beneath that is put together with tape, all different fucking sizes and spring off, you know. It's not just 2 ladders put together with fucking tape and cords. It's hundreds of fucking ladders put together with cords and tape. It's a mess. It's a yarn mess, you know. Intertwined cords and cables and all that fucking shit. That's Linux underneath from a desktop perspective. But we are focusing on one fucking thing, and that's getting people the most amazing drill. That drill is kind of the desktop environment, the fun phase of Linux. You see, 9 out of 10 distributions are putting all their effort into theming the distribution, making a nice fucking website, you know, Pantheonist, you know, that kind of philosophy. It's the Pantheon philosophy, you know, the Elementary OS philosophy. Let's give the end user a nice fucking drill that have a nice fucking feature set that looks amazing, works amazing, economically is amazing in your hand, you know, you don't get fucking tendonitis by using it and all that shit. What about the worker? What about the clothes the worker's on? What about the foundation that he's standing on to drill that hole in the ceiling? Let's forget about that. And let me tell you something that will probably make you happy, but probably also make you a little bit like sad. It actually making me sad is that Linux already have a nice fucking drill, you know, drilling machine. Like, we have great fucking drilling machines. We already have amazing, like top of the line, amazing, future looking, feature rich environments like Mate, GNOME, XFCE, KDE, Cinnamon. Now we have Pantheon and now Cosmic Desktop and all these. Like, let's just talk about the top 3, XFCE, GNOME and KDE. Those alone would satisfy 99.9% of potential new users to Linux. They are working a little bit on the underlying stuff of desktop, you know, like Wayland and Xorg and stuff like that. I do like that to some extent, but the whole Wayland thing is making me a little bit anxious because we tried it 10 years ago and we did it for like a couple of years, and then everyone just dropped the ball because they either couldn't get it to work as they want or it didn't get the traction as they expected it to do. And I'm feeling we kind of going into the same thing again. Oh, Wayland is getting a little bit of a boost. 2-3 years down the line, everyone's going on to the next thing. You know, reinventing the wheel. I hate that fucking shit. So we already have a great user experience. What we don't have, and has been lacking for as long as I've been using Linux on the desktop, is every fucking thing else. We still have issues with getting software that people ask for on Linux. For one reason or another. We're still having issues with buying peripherals, and we can only use the bare functions of them. You have to remember this. Most people buy peripherals for what they're doing. They buy a headset to hear sounds, but they also buy a headset because of the extra features that the software brings to them. LED control, voice change, just like this is built-in voice changer, Discord integration, game integration, and all of that shit, which this headset also have. That's why they buy them. To either get a competitive advantage in gaming, like this headset in software can highlight footsteps in games. And that's one of the reasons why people buy this fucking shit. And the Linux mentality has always been, oh, a headset? You buy it because you want to listen to fucking sounds. So let's just get the sound part working and forget about the rest. People buy a mouse to point and click, but they also buy a mouse because of all of the extra features that it brings with it. LEDs, like I said again, software integration with other products and stuff like that. And that's the latter part of this picture over here. But the Linux people, they seem to only think about, well, you want a photo editing software called Photoshop. Let's make GIMP. Oh, you want a full-blown professional video editing software where you have spent thousands of dollars on plugins to and spent decades learning and have work experience with. Let's make OpenShot and KDE Live. That's not going to work, boo-boo. Okay? You're not going to get massive companies, professionals, hobbyists to throw away Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, and all that shit for KDE Live. I'm sorry, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get people to switch to gaming under Linux because, well, you can technically point and click with your mouse. But all of the extra features, fuck those. Unless you have like Logitech and only selective Logitech mice and a few other brands that we have kind of working LED control on. Oh, you want to change your headset and the software associated with your headset. Plug into a virtual machine running Windows or have a laptop or second computer running Windows, and every time you have to change something on your peripherals, or it don't have to be headset, but any peripherals that don't have Windows-only software, plug it off your fucking Linux machine and plug it into your Windows machine. Change the things you want, plug it out again and plug it in. How fucking stupid does that sound? The foundation is not there. They don't work on it. Because when it comes to the foundation, this is the mentality of the Linux community and a lot of Linux developers. Oh, Photoshop is not supporting Linux. I'm just using Photoshop as an example because most of you know Photoshop. Photoshop is just a placeholder for your favorite thing that you want to get to work under Linux. So the Linux community is saying, oh, well, they are not supporting Linux out of the box. Yeah, why should they? Oh, because we want it. Okay, what have you done? What have the Linux community done to make, in this case, Photoshop to work under Linux? Or get Photoshop to support Linux? What have we done as a collective community to get that to work? Other than bitching, moaning, yelling, and screaming at them. We demand you to support us. You should be open source so we can fork your business model. You should this and that. That's the only thing we've done. We have not done anything else. Have we done as a collective? Have we gone over to Photoshop and said, we will help you port Photoshop and Adobe products to Linux by giving you development help. We don't like your proprietary, but we will still help you. How many have gone to Adobe and said, we really want you to be part of this amazing experience. What can we do to help you be part of it? And here's another thing. The few fucking distributions or software houses that do it, they get yelled and screamed at by the community because now they are entrangling into a fucking, sleeping with the devil. They are part of the problem. They are talking with proprietary companies and bad companies. If you want something on Linux, we have to cooperate with other philosophies, other viewpoints on the world. Linux and open source is not the only viewpoint on the world and software development. And proprietary software is not bad. It's the people using that code. Okay? So a good example here is that I have some scripts out there. They are open source, or I think they are MIT licensed or BSD licensed. If proprietary software made a software bad, if I then went and used the proprietary code, Is that software now bad? Is that software now doing bad things to your system? Is that software, those scripts now doing telemetry, data collection and all that shit? No, they are working just the same as they did when they were BSD licensed. We focus too much on the license and the philosophy instead of the people that are doing it. Proprietary software can be just as fucking good as open source and be just as consumer friendly as open source if the people developing that software has that mindset. And another thing is that we have to be okay with pay for shit. Because here's what this is again, I've talked with Linux users and seen the Linux community for over 25 years. If Photoshop came or any other thing came to Linux and they had to fucking throw money at it to get it, they will bitch and moan again. Because they don't want to pay for anything. And that's why we're getting this crazy foundation. That is the main problem why Linux is not on the desktop. It's not the desktop environment. It's the whole mentality of the Linux community and the open source community towards everything that's not the Linux community, not the open source community. And the childish fucking entitlement with that you should be this, you should do that, you should just support us, you should not just give us that, instead of fucking helping them, supporting us. And the companies and organizations that do that are being crucified for doing it. Look at what Ubuntu, look at the OpenSUSE or SUSE back in the day when they were getting NetWare to work and Active Directory. SUSE was one of the first companies to work with Microsoft to get Microsoft technologies to work under Linux. Why? Because a big fucking part of their user group wanted it. And already back then, like in the early 2000s, people were yelling and screaming at SUSE for doing that. They are now yelling and screaming at Canonical for working with proprietary software companies and Microsoft and all that. Why the fuck do you think they're doing it? Because there is a massive consumer demand for it from their user base. Philosophies and ideas and stuff like that is really great, but they are not going to get shit done. You have to work in the world that we are living in. And I'm sorry to say it, proprietary software is not bad, Windows is not bad, Mac OS is not bad. It's the people doing bad things with it. The human developers, the corporations telling the human developers to make the software do the things that we don't like. We should not be yelling at Windows for having telemetry, which is the most fucking unlogical and idiotical fucking debate I've seen in all my life. With the Linux community being, anti-Windows this and anti-that. No. Take Windows out of the equation. It's anti-Microsoft. It's Microsoft. And specifically, Microsoft management. I'm sorry, but bitching and moaning about what Microsoft is doing and Windows is doing and then promoting fucking Android and Chrome OS from a company that are probably 100 times worse than Windows and Microsoft. So not only are we not working with the current situation the world is in to get stuff that people want under Linux and helping, companies to be part of the Linux community. We are actively actually trying to not do that. The foundation problem with Linux is that we can't come up with a good foundation to build Linux upon because everyone wants to do their own fucking thing because they think they're the smartest cook in the kitchen. We are actively competing and eating each other alive from inside that foundation that we should be building. So instead of building an amazing foundation with amazing streamlined pipelines for getting hardware vendors to support Linux, software vendors to support Linux, getting peripherals to work under Linux, we are now working against each other. This problem has not been solved in all of the years I've been using Linux on the desktop. It's only gotten worse. Once in a while, we go a little step forward and then we go 5 steps backward. The year of the Linux desktop and stuff like that. The reason why that has not happened is like 8 out of 10 times our own fucking fault. Been a long one. I'm out of here. I've given up on the Linux desktop. See you all later. Bye bye.